Okay, we're moving on into Chapter 3. So this is a quick overview of Chapter 3. We'll be looking at equations and inequalities. This one deals with football. It's football season right now, so let's read, see what we learn about what we're going to be experiencing in this chapter. How many yards were gained? Well, we're told a football team gained 10 yards after running 2 plays. The first play resulted in a loss of 6 yards. You can write and solve an equation to find the total number of yards gained in the second play. Well, we know that one of them we lost 6 yards. We're trying to figure out what the gain was in the second play, and we know that overall between the 2 plays we gained 10. So can you tell me what you can add to a negative 6 to get 10? I'll let you pause for just a moment and work that one out, and we'll come back and we'll discuss it. Well, if you had a positive 16, if you gained 16 the second time, 16 minus 6 would give you 10. But in this chapter, we're going to learn ways that we can manipulate the equation so that we can solve for the missing variable. First of all, let's look at the preview. So earlier, you've evaluated expressions. What does it mean to evaluate? Are you thinking it means to solve for x or solve for y? Actually, we're not solving for a variable, but instead when we evaluate, we're substituting in. And we're replacing 2 in for x. So all we're doing is substituting 2 to see what would be the value of that expression if x were 2. So understanding that, what we're going to do in Lesson 3.1, we're going to actually solve the equation. We're going to do what's called isolate the variable by using inverse operations to undo the operations. Now, when we talk about inverse operations, we're talking about the opposite. So what's the opposite of addition? You're thinking subtraction, good job. The opposite of subtraction then would be addition. How about division? What's the opposite of division? Well, that would be multiplication. And by the same token, the opposite of multiplication would be division. The opposite of operations are known as inverse operations. That's the proper vocabulary to use, inverse operation. Why don't you take just a moment and let's evaluate each of these expressions if x were 4 or y is 5. So pause the video for a moment, work 1 through 4, and then we'll come back. Okay, this one has an x, so if we put a 4 in for x, 4 plus 6 is 10. This second one has a y, so we're going to put a 5 in for y, so 3 plus 5 is 8. This third one has a y, so 5 plus 16 is 21. And the fourth one has an x, but this time we're multiplying. So 4 times 4 would be 16, plus 31 would be 47. Did you get every one of those right? Good job. Okay, we've previously graphed a number on a number line. So if we graph a 5, where would we graph a 7? Did you put a point right here? Good job. That would be graphing a 7. Now, in Lesson 3.4, we're going to be graphing inequalities. So if the inequality symbol is less than or greater than, and you need to understand that this means less than, this one means greater than, so get that in your notes, you're going to use an open circle on the graph. But if the inequality symbol has this line underneath it, which means or equal to, then it's going to be a closed circle on the graph. So looking at this one, is it going to be an open circle or a closed circle? Yes, it's going to be a closed circle. So we graph our closed circle, and x is everything that's greater than 5. So that's why we graph it this direction. Very good. Okay, so we are ready to begin Lesson 3.1.